Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video we are going to understand how to regularly notify your team on Microsoft Teams for employee leaves. So do you also wish to get regular notifications of employee leaves? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I want the same. So I manage the HR department of an organization, and to streamline the leave management process, what I want is that every morning at 9 a.m. I should receive the leave details on my Microsoft Teams channel. How many employees are on leave and the name of those employees. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Schedule by Pabbly, Google Sheets and Microsoft Teams. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for employee leaves. So over here, as you know, that I manage the HR department for an organization, and keeping a track of employee leaves can be challenging, especially with a large team. So to streamline this process, I have set it up an automation that sends a daily notification to our team on Microsoft Teams every morning at 9 a.m. informing them of the employees who are on leaves for the day. So this ensures that all the relevant team members are instantly aware of any absences, allowing for better planning and resource allocation. By automating these daily notifications, we reduce the risk of miscommunication, ensures that the team stays informed about the availability, improving overall workflow and collaboration. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get $100 free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here you can see that I've created multiple folders on my dashboard in which I can save my workflows in. So if you wish to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this learn more hyperlink given right over here and learn how to do so. So over here I want to save my workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for employee leaves. And then we are going to click on create, and as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the command of the trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as schedule. So schedule is a feature by Pabbly with the help of which you can schedule your workflow. So over here I want to schedule my workflow for every morning 9 a.m. So that's why we are going to select our trigger application as schedule, and then for the trigger event we are going to select it as schedule workflow. And then it is saying how often do you want to run your workflow. So over here I want to run my workflow every day, so I'm going to select it as every day. And now it is asking me for the time. So over here I'm going to select the time as 9 a.m. If you wish, you can select any another time too, and if you wish, you can also select some days of the week too. But I want to run this workflow every day, so I've done the same. And for the time I have selected 9 right over here, and then I'm going to click on save. And as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see that we have successfully scheduled this workflow for every day. And after scheduling this workflow, what I want to send an automated notification on my Microsoft Teams every day, right? So for that, first we want to get the current date. So my workflow should know the current date too on which the notification has to be sent. So for that, for the action application, we are going to look for date time formatter. So again, it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the date and time. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as current date. First, we want to know the current date. date, then only we are going to create this automation. So now I'm going to click on connect right over here again, and over here it is asking me for the basic format. So it is asking me for the format in which I want my current date. So over here I want the format to be month, date and year, and after selecting this I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as I'm going to click on save and send test request, you can see that this is my current date, which is 10/3/2024. So now after getting out this current date, we are going to move on forward. So you must be wondering, why did I got this current date right over here? Because over here you can see that this is my spreadsheet where I have the details of all the employees whose leaves have been approved, and over here you can see the dates too. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the current date right over here in my spreadsheet. So over here, let's suppose that today the current date is 3rd of October. So I'm going to look for 3rd of October right over here, and as you can see over here are 2 employees who are leave on 3rd of October. So yes, I want to fetch out the data of these 2 employees only, and in order to do that we are going to add another action step right over here. And now for my action application, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm going to look for Google Sheets right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as lookup. Over here you can see lookup spreadsheet row v2, so we are going to select it, and then we are going to click on connect, and as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on sign in with Google. And as soon as we are going to click on sign in with Google, it is asking me to select my Gmail account. So over here I'm going to select my Gmail account, and after selecting my Gmail account, we are going to click on allow. So here you can see that it is asking me for some permissions. So we're going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow Pabbly, save, and as soon as we are going to click on allow right over here, you can see authorization successful. So yes, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow, and now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So here you can see the name of my spreadsheet is employee leave tracker. So with here I've created a workflow in the back end where what is happening is that as soon as the employees apply for the leave with the help of my ERP, and as soon as their leave gets approved, their details have been added right over here in my spreadsheet. And now using this spreadsheet only, we are going to send an automated notification on our Microsoft Teams channel. So that's why for this spreadsheet, we are going to select the spreadsheet which is named employee leave tracker. So over here I'm going to select the same, which is employee leave tracker, and as soon as we're going to select the spreadsheet, it is asking me to select the sheet. So as you can see that I have only a single sheet in my spreadsheet, so over here I'm going to select the same only. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the lookup value. So over here for the lookup value, I want to look up it as the current date, because I want to send an automated notification every morning. So for that we are going to keep the lookup value as current date, but we are not going to enter it right over here manually by typing it like this, but we are going to map it. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step were these steps where we selected schedule and date time formatter by Pabbly. So we are going to map the details from the response of our previous step only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So let's suppose that I'm going to give you an example. Over here we have to enter the current date, right? So let's suppose that I'm going to enter the current date right over here manually by typing it like this, then this will not change with every new response received. But let's suppose that we are going to open the date time formatter current date, and over here you can see the date which we took out with the help of date time formatter. So let's suppose that we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So what will happen is that every day this workflow will run at 9 a.m. and a new current date will be received from the date time formatter, and that response only we mapped right over here for the lookup value. So every day this will also change with the current date. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now it is asking me for the lookup column. So it is asking me for which column I have to look the date in. So over here the column is D, so I'm going to select it as D only. We are going to move on forward. It is saying end column of the data, so over here I'm going to keep it as D only. We are going to move on forward. It is saying lookup as a date, so yes, it is a date, so I'm going to click on yes. It is saying use sheet headers as key in responses. We are going to keep it as yes. It is saying sort row, so we are going to keep it as top. And after keeping all of these details, I'm going to click on save and send test request. But before clicking on save and send test request, I'll just switch off this simple response button, and now we are going to click on save and send test request so that we can receive an advanced response. So yes, you can see that we have received the advanced response where we have received all the details details of the employees who are on the leave. So over here you can see that for 3rd of October, 2 employees are on leave, and we have received the details of both. Right over here you can see all the details. You can see the name, you can see the department, you can see the leave type, and also you can see the date too, which we looked up. So yes, over here we have successfully received the details, and now after receiving these details, what we are going to do is we are going to use these details only further. So what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step right over here. And now for my action application, I'm going to select it as router. So router is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to create routes in your workflow. So over here I'm going to create routes in my workflow because I want to sort this workflow in 3 types. So what I want is I want 3 routes of this workflow. First route should be the route where we have multiple leave approved. Second route should be the route where we have only a single leave, and the third route would be the route where we have no leaves for the day. So that's why I've applied router right over here. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as conditionally run, and then we are going to click on connect. And over here you can see that it is giving me 2 routes. So over here what I'm going to do is first I'm going to open this first route and go on see filter and action steps, and now it is asking me to add a filter right over here. So it is saying how do I want to separate this from the another routes. So it is asking me for the label, right? So over here I'm going to select the label as response row found. So over here we are going to separate these routes on the response row found. Right over here what I want is that over here you can see that 2 people are on leave for 3rd of October, so that's why it is giving the response row found as 2. But let's suppose that if there are 1 or 0 people, then it will give 1 or 0 right over here only. So that's why we're using these as my filter, because on this only I'm going to separate the routes on number of leaves for the day. So yes, over here for the label I'm going to select it as response row found from the response of our lookup spreadsheet row v2. So now for the filter type, first we are going to keep it as equals to, and then for the value we are going to keep it as 2. And then we are going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see condition is true. But over here we are going to add a or condition too, because I don't want to create this route only for 2 but also more than 2. So for that again we are going to select the label as response row found. For the filter type we are going to keep it as greater than, and then for the value we are going to keep it as 2, and then we are going to click on save and send test request again. So what we have done is we have added 2 filter conditions. If the response row found is equals to 2 or greater than 2, then this route will run. So now after doing this I'm going to click on save right over here, and now we have successfully added this filter condition. So we are going to add another action step right over here to move on forward, and now for my action application we are going to select it as data transformer by Pabbly. So it is a feature by Pabbly again, and now for the action event we are going to select it as line itemizer, and then we are going to click on connect. So it is asking me for the line item array. So you must be wondering why I have selected this line itemizer right over here, because in my previous response, where's the response of my Google Sheets, I have received the response like this. You can see in array format, but I want to receive a simple format so that further I can map this in my Microsoft Teams and send a message like this. So for that only I'm going to use this line itemizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the response of my Google Sheets lookup spreadsheet rows v2, and we are going to map this response right over here, which is the line items array, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see over here is the employee name, department, leave type and date separated one by one like this. So now we have received this separately, and now further I can map the name in my next step. So now further what I'm going to do is over here you can see that the name is in not proper format. So first we are going to convert this name in a proper format so that we can map it further. Again we are going to add another action step right over here, and now for my action application we are going to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the text, and now for the action event we are going to select it as replace text, and then we are going to click on connect, and as soon as we are going to do so, it is asking me for the text to replace. So what I want is I'm going to map this line itemizer response right over here, which is employee name. So yes, we have to map this, and now it is saying find. So it is saying what we have to replace. For that I want to replace this brackets and commas right over here. For that in the find I'm going to enter the same, and after entering the find it is saying replace. So I want to replace it with the br tags. So over here I'm going to enter a br tag, and after doing this we are going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see we have received a perfect result which we can map further in our Microsoft Teams. So now with this we are going to click on add another action step right over here, and now for my action application we are going to select it as Microsoft Teams. So over here I'm going to search for Microsoft Teams, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it, and after selecting my action application, for my action connection event, we are going to select it as send message in a channel, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Microsoft Teams account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on connect with Microsoft Teams. And as soon as we are going to click on connect with Microsoft Teams, over here you can see that it is asking me for some permissions. So once again, I'm going to click on accept and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on accept, Pabbly save, and as soon as we are going to click on accept, yes, you can see authorization successful. So yes, with this we have successfully connected our Microsoft Teams account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the team and the channel I want to send the message in. So here you can see that I have multiple teams in my Microsoft Teams account, and over here I want to send the message to this team, which is Pabbly Connect team. And over here you can see the channel is journal. So I'm going to select the same for the team. I'm going to select it as Pabbly Connect team right over here. And as soon as we are going to select the team, it is going to ask me to select the channel. So for my channel, I'm going to keep it as journal. And now it is asking me for the message I want to send. So I want the message to be today's leave report. And if you wish, you can definitely add a big message, but I want to keep it simple and specific. So it is saying today's leave report, and then we are going to map the name of our employees. So for that, we are going to open this tab which was replace text, and we are going to map the result for the same, which is demo user and test user. So where you can see that it is saying enter the message in HTML format. So that's why we replace the commas and brackets with the BR tags. So where I'm going to keep this message too in a HTML format. So for that, I'm going to enter BR tags right over here too. And after doing all of this, I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as I'm going to click on save and send test request right over here, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully sent a message to our Microsoft Teams about the today's leave report. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Microsoft Teams right from here, and yes, you can see today's leave report. You can see demo user and test user. So these are the two users who are on leave on 3rd of October. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully completed this route, and now I'm going to click on save right over here, and then we are going to close this. So yes, we have successfully completed route 1. So now I'm going to rename this route as multiple leaves, and then we are going to click on update right over here, and now we are going to move on towards route 2. So what you are going to do is first I'm going to delete this route 2 right from here. We are going to clone the same multiple leaves route right over here. So I'm going to clone this route, and now we are going to rename this as single leave. So where I'm going to erase this clone and all and name it as single leave. And now after renaming this, I'm going to click on update, and now we are going to click on see filter and action steps for single leave. And as soon as we're going to come over here, you can see yes, this was the same which we did in our last multiple leaves route. But what we have to change is for the filter values, first we are going to remove this or condition right from here, and now for the label we are going to keep it as rows found only, but now for the value we are going to keep it as 1 because this is the route for single leave. So that's why we are going to keep 1 right over here, and after entering this we are going to click on save and send test request. And over here you can see that it is saying condition is false. Yes, because for the 3rd of October the leaves were 2, that's why it is saying condition is false. So what we are going to do is first we are going to close this right from here. We are going to go on Google Sheets again, and what we are going to do is for the 3rd of October we are going to keep it as a single leave. So for that I'm going to, let's suppose that we replace the test users leave from 3rd of October to 1st of October. So now what I'm going to do is go back to my workflow, and again we are going to click on save and send test request right over here so that we can receive a new response with the 1 single leave. And yes, you can see that we have received 1 right over here. Again we are going to move on towards our router to create our second route. So over here we are going to move on towards our single leave, see filter and action step. And now for the filter, again we are going to open this, and now we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see condition is true. So now after getting this condition true, we are going to open our line itemizer again, and over here you can see that this is the new array. So again we are going to click on save and send test request right over here, and as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see that we have received the name directly as soon as we clicked on save and send test request, because we have only a single name right over here. So now what we are going to do is we are going to map this directly in our Microsoft Teams. We are going to eliminate this step. For that I'm going to delete this step from this route right from here, and now I'm going to delete this. And yes, after deleting this, we are going to click on save right over here for line itemizer, and we're going to move on towards our Microsoft Teams. And now over here we are going to erase this result, and we are going to map the details from the line itemizer. Over here you can see demo user employee name. So yes, we remove that replace text because over here we have received a simple response directly from line itemizer, because there was only a single employee on leave for 3rd of October now. So again, I'm going to click on save and send test request right over here, and as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received another positive response that we have successfully sent a automated message for single leave too. And over here you can see today's leave report demo user. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our 2 routes, and we are going to add another route. For that we are going to clone this single leave route, and we are going to click on clone again. So what we are going to do is we are going to rename this as no leaves, and now we are going to click on update again, and again we are going to go on see filter and actions step. And now what we are going to do is for the filter over here we are going to keep the value as 0, and now after entering this we are going to click on save and send test request. So again it is going to say condition is false, yes, because over here for the rows found it is 1. So yeah, we are going to move on forward as keeping it as condition is false only, because for the current date where the leaves are 0, this condition will automatically get true. And now we are going to delete this line itemizer too, because the condition is false, so we haven't received any array. So we have to delete this too, and directly in our Microsoft Teams channel we are going to send a message. So I'm going to keep the message as no employees are on leave today, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request right over here, again you can see we have received a positive response, and once again we have sent a message right over here, no employees are on leave today. So yes, with this we have successfully completed all of our 3 routes. And as soon as we complete all of our 3 routes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow too. And now what I have done is I've also sent a multiple leaves message to my Microsoft Teams channel. You can see 2 employees on leave, you can see a single message where 1 employee is on leave, and over here you can see no employee is on leave. So we have successfully created 3 routes, and we have successfully sent 3 messages on a Microsoft Teams channel for each condition. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for a trigger application we selected schedule by Pabbly. For a trigger event we selected schedule workflow. For the action applications we selected date time formatter by Pabbly, Google Sheets, and then router, because what I wanted is I wanted to run this workflow at every day morning 9, so that I can notify my team at the earliest. And over here I have done the same. For that I have used my trigger application as schedule, and then further I wanted to send an automated notification on my Microsoft Teams channel about how many employees are on leave and also the name of those employees. So yes, we have did the same. For that we created 3 routes right over here. We use Google Sheets to get the details of the employees, and then we created 3 routes right over here. So what we did it, we are going to use the details we received from our Google Sheets, and we map the details right over here and send a message in a channel on Microsoft Teams for multiple leaves, for single leave, and for no leaves. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and over here you can see the messages I sent on my channel during this video with the help of my workflow. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what will happen is automatically every day this workflow will run and notify my team about the leaves for the day, and we don't have to come back and again to our workflow every time and click on save and send test request. Automatically this is going to run in backend. And also this automation ensures that all the relevant team members are instantly aware of any absences, allowing for better planning and resource allocation. By automating these daily notifications, we reduce the risk of miscommunication and ensure that the team stays informed about the availability, improving overall workflow and collaboration. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow and just change the account and use it for yourself. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.